First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakah, Kodash. Yahweh is who this world ignorantly calls God. Yahushai is who this world ignorantly calls Jesus. Ba'ashem means in the name, Rakah means spirit, and Kodash means holy. And that's all in the Paleo Hebrew. I also want to give double honors to the elder bishops and apostles of Great Millstone that taught me this truth. Today's lesson, I wanted to go into how the technological advancements that have happened in the last 100 years, right, is all Bible prophecy. The fact that, hey, in 100 years we've done more progress than in all human history, pretty much, is all Bible prophecy. Okay, the fact that we have the internet, we have a nuclear capability, right? We have the internet. Again, that's a big one, right? Because the internet is another thing of Bible prophecy, right? It talks about it in Psalm the 19th chapter, right? And ultimately, I ended up searching up on Google, right? A little chart going into it, and here it breaks it down, right? So technological advances across time. It says stone tools, fire, bow, wheel, 3000 BC, writing, 100 BC, watermill, 900 AD, gunpowder, 1045, printing press, 1280, optical lenses, 1698, the steam engine, 1823, telegraph, 1856, plastics, 1905, airplane, 1947, transistor, 1954, fission power, 1957, spaceflight, 1969, internet, 1990, mobile technology. Right, and here it is, we're in 2024 and it hasn't stopped. The line has only gotten more vertical and more vertical. Right, we're at the point now where we have quantum technology. Right, they're dealing with quantum mechanics and trying to figure out the very fabric of reality and how things work. Right, trying to break down light to a very, how do you even say that? They're just going into the very basic things, right? Trying to explain light, if it's a particle, if it's a wave. That's quantum technology, right? And ultimately, like I said, this is all Bible prophecy, right? A simple way to think about it is the Bible talks about how America is going to be destroyed by nuclear missiles. Right? In order for America to be destroyed by nuclear missiles, there has to be nuclear missiles to begin with, right? So the Lord, it says how the Lord, He worketh on the minds of kings. Right? I think that's Proverbs chapter 21 and verse 1. It says, "The king's heart is in the hand of Yahweh, as the rivers of water, He turneth it whithersoever He will." Right? So the Lord is the one out here controlling all these presidents, and ultimately He's controlling everybody. Right? So that's the thing about prophecy, is prophecy takes place in real life. Right? You have people living their day-to-day life, right, just creating something, right? But that creation that they unknowingly are just doing for fun or just doing for a job, in actuality is bigger. It is part of the big story, right? For example, what's that guy's name that built the first bomb, or Fat Man Little Boy or something like that? Oppenheimer, right? He was just doing his job, right? He was doing his job, making the bomb, right? But that technology that he made, that he pretty much developed, okay, future scientists built upon that technology, and now we have the nuclear capability to wipe out an entire continent, right? Ultimately, those are the weapons that are going to be used to fulfill prophecy. Okay, so I just wanted to touch on that. This is Daniel chapter 12 and verse 4, the key verse. It says, "But thou, O Daniel, shut up the words and seal the book, even to the time of the end." It says, "Many shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall be increased." And that's exactly what happened, man. We're in the time of the end. Okay, Yahweh Shai, when he was on scene, right, he marked the beginning of the end. And here it is, we're 2,000 years later, roughly. Okay, we're at the last end of the end. Okay, and it says that many shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall be increased. That's why we see this right here, right? Because knowledge is being increased in order to fulfill the other prophecies, right? Knowledge has to be increased in order to build a nuclear bomb, right? In order to have the internet, right, which spreads the word throughout all four corners of the earth, right? Things like that. But it says, before I read that, many shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall be increased. It also says, "But thou, O Daniel, shut up the words, and seal the book even to the time of the end." Right? And the book that is sealed unto the time of the end is going into the Bible. Right? From the time of Daniel, pretty much into the time of Yahweh Shai, Okay, the Bible is pretty much codified, right? People didn't have the full understanding of the prophecies or what was going down, right? Because the understanding was literally sealed. Okay, the understanding was literally sealed. People would read it, people would read it, and they wouldn't understand what is going into, right? They'd just be lost. Okay, but hey, nowadays, right, Yahushai, he actually loosed those seals. And today, the prophets, the 144,000, okay, have the full knowledge of the Bible and can break down every single prophecy that is in it. Okay, the seals have been loosed. Okay, let's read that. And that's also part of knowledge being increased. And contrary to popular belief, today, right, we know more than the ancient prophets. Right, today the prophets today know more than the ancient prophets. Right, the reason I'm saying that is because back then, right, when Daniel chapter 7, right, Daniel chapter 7, when it goes into the vision of the four beasts, and it says the fourth was like a lion, had eagle's wings, second like to a bear, third like a leopard with four heads. Daniel was actually seeing a beast, right? He was actually seeing beasts, and he was describing them, right? But the beasts were symbolic for kingdoms, right? The first beast with the lion and the eagle's wings was symbolic for the Assyrian slash Babylonian kingdom. The second one was symbolic for the Medo-Persian Empire. Third was symbolic for the Greek Empire, with Alexander the Great and his four generals, the four heads. And the fourth was symbolic, or was talking about the Roman Empire, right? But Daniel, hey, he wouldn't be able to break that down, right, in his time, okay, because the things haven't happened yet, right? He was actually just seeing beasts, and he was shook, right? When you keep reading the chapter, it goes into how, hey, this is verse 16. It says, I came near unto one of them that stood by and asked him the truth of all this. So he told me and made me know the interpretation of the things. Right, so Daniel himself, right, had to talk to an angel and be like, hey, what's the truth of all this? I don't understand. And that's when the angel started breaking down what those beasts are represented. Right, it says those great beasts are four kings, and it goes on. Okay, but even with that information he still didn't know this was talking about the Greek and the Roman Empire. Today, after everything has taken place, now we can put the pieces together and it all makes sense. Right? That's part of the knowledge being increased and the seals of the book being loosed. Okay, so that's how we know more than the ancient prophets. Okay, a lot of the prophecies already took place and we can now put the pieces together. But this is Revelation chapter 5 and verse 1. It says, And I saw on the right hand of him that sat on the throne a book written within and on the back side, sealed with seven seals. And I saw a strong angel proclaiming with a loud voice, Who is worthy to open the book, and to loose the seals thereof? And no man in heaven, nor in earth, neither under the earth, was able to open the book, neither to look thereon. And I wept, because no man was found worthy to open and to read the book, neither to look thereon. And one of the elders saith unto me, Weep not, behold, the Lion of the tribe of Judah, the root of David, hath prevailed to open the book and loose the seven seals. Okay, that's the point, is that Yahushai, okay, he was the one that had the power to pretty much open up the understanding. He was the one that loosed the seven seals of the scriptures, opened up the understanding for specifically the 144,000 to be able to receive, right? Because only the 144,000, the prophets, are going to be able to break down the Bible front to back, right? It says that in Revelation 14. Let's read it. This is Revelation chapter 14 and verse 1. It says, And I looked, and lo, a lamb stood on the Mount Zion, and with him 144,000, having his father's name written in their foreheads. And I heard a voice from heaven, as the voice of many waters, and as the voice of a great thunder. And I heard the voice of harpers harping with their harps. And they sung as it were a new song before the throne, and before the four beasts, and the elders. And no man could learn that song, but the 144,000 which were redeemed from the earth. Right? And that song that is talking about, that these 144,000 men sung, is going into the doctrine, is going into the understanding of the Bible. Right? It's referred to as a song. Right? Scripture to back that up is actually Ezekiel chapter 3 and verse Ezekiel chapter 33, not 3. Ezekiel chapter 33 and verse 31, it says, And they come unto thee as the people cometh. Right, this is going into how the prophets teach unto the people. says, and they come unto thee as the people cometh, and they sit before thee as my people, and they hear thy words, but they will not do them. For with their mouth they show much love, but their heart goeth after their covetousness. Right? Our people constantly they act like they're interested, but at the end of the day, they ain't gonna be disciplined and seek the Lord. Right? They're gonna keep going after other gods and being idolatrous. It says, and lo, thou art unto them as a very lovely song of one that hath a pleasant voice, and can play well on an instrument. For they hear thy words, but they do them not. Right? It says that the song, the doctrine, the words, the prophecies that we speak are referred to as a very lovely song. It says that when this comes to pass, lo, it will come, then shall they know that a prophet hath been among them. Right? Going into how when all these prophecies come to pass, they're going to realize that this guy we were talking to, yeah, he was the real deal. We should have listened to him. But by that time, it's going to be too late. Okay, so pulled all that just to hit the point that the breakdown of the Bible is referred to as a lovely song. So going back to Revelation 14, and they sung as it were a new song before the throne, and before the four beasts and the elders, and no man could learn that song but the 144,000 which were redeemed from the earth. Right, so only those men are going to be able to sing that song, are going to be able to break down the Bible. It says, these are they which were not defiled with women, for they are virgins. These are they which follow the Lamb whithersoever he goeth. These were redeemed from among men, being the firstfruits unto God and to the Lamb. Right, when it's talking about these men were not defiled with women and they were virgins, it's just going into how they were pure. Right, everything they spoke was pure. Right, verse 5 breaks this down. And in their mouth was found no guile. Right, the way we break down the scriptures is 100% on point. It says, for they are without fault before the throne of God. Okay, so this is also part of what we just read, right, in Daniel the 12th chapter, going into how knowledge shall be increased. Notably, those words that were sealed, even unto the time of the end, when the end came, Yahushua, and he loosed those seals, and now the elect have the understanding. And also on the flip side, okay, even the wicked elite have the understanding, right, because they have their scholars that are able to understand some things. They have their scholars that research, right, the prophets, the brothers out there on the highways and byways, and watch the videos to get a deeper understanding. They know all that. Okay, it says that in Ezekiel chapter 28. So it's Ezekiel chapter 28 and verse 1. It says, the word of Yahweh came again unto me, saying, Son of man, say unto the prince of Tyrus, thus saith Yahweh, because thine heart is lifted up, and thou hast said, I am a God, I sit in the seat of God, in the midst of the seas, yet thou art a man and not God, though thou set thine heart as the heart of God. Right, when it's talking about Tyrus, in this whole first three scriptures, this is actually talking about the Edomites. Right, the reason I say that is because when you go to Obadiah, right, which this is specifically talking about the Edomites, right, thus saith the Lord concerning Edom, it says that, where is it? It says, we'll get Isaiah 14, which also is talking about the Edomites. This is what I was trying to get. In Isaiah chapter 14 and verse 13, it says that this is how the Edomites think. It says, for thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven, I will exalt my throne above the stars of God, I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds, I will be like the Most High. Right, so that's the thing with the Edomites, is that they're trying to be like Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Right, but ultimately, verse 15, yet thou shalt be brought down to hell to the sides of the pit. Right, they're not going to be able to fulfill their plan. Right, so I brought that out because it talks about how they say, I am a God, I sit in the seat of God, yet thou art a man. Okay, it's talking about these Edomites. But verse 3 says, behold, thou art wiser than Daniel. There's no secret that they can hide from thee. And that's the point, is that these elites, right, their knowledge dealing with the Bible has also been increased. Right, these elites, right, these Edomites at the high positions, Rockefellers, Rothschilds, Vanderbilts, right, though they are wiser than Daniel. Right, they have their prophets, their scribes, their left hand magic that tells them what's going on. Okay, so knowledge has been increased on the right hand side and also on the left hand side. Okay, and as the end approaches nearer and nearer and near, okay, it's only going to get worse. Right, wickedness is going to increase, but also righteousness is going to increase. That's why it says in Isaiah, right, when the enemy shall come in like the flood, right, the Spirit of the Lord shall lift up a standard. Right, when these devils really start cracking down, the Lord is going to set up a standard to be able to combat that. Okay, and part of that standard is knowledge, right? The other is spiritual power, which knowledge, having the knowledge of the Bible, these prophecies, is a power in itself. If you really understand that, because you pretty much know what's going to happen in the future, right? You know exactly what's going to happen in the future. But I just want to touch on that. Right, technological advancement chart. The last 200 years, the reason we had this big boom in technology is because of Bible prophecy. So hopefully this is edifying. With that, and give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua Ba'ashem Rakakwadash, and double honors to the elder bishops and apostles of Great Millstone that taught me this truth. Shalom to you, like Shalom.